Did you know that your digestive system contains millions of bacteria called the gut microbiota? They live mainly in your large intestine and help digest certain fibers, protect against harmful germs, and support your immune system. Without them, digestion would not be as efficient. The human body is an amazing machine, and one of its greatest wonders is how it digests food. Every bite begins a journey through many organs that work together to break food into energy. We are going to take you through the entire digestion process, from the mouth to the anus. Imagine taking a bite of your favorite meal, a piece of bread, some rice, or juicy fruit. That simple act begins one of the most amazing processes in the human body: digestion. Digestion is how the body breaks down food into smaller substances that it can use for energy, growth, and repair. The entire process happens inside a long tube called the alimentary canal or digestive tract, which runs from the mouth to the anus. Let's walk step by step through this journey. 1. The mouth, where it all begins. Digestion starts the moment food enters the mouth. The mouth is not just for eating. It's a chemical and mechanical factory. The teeth cut, tear, and grind food into smaller pieces. This is called mechanical digestion, and it makes it easier for enzymes to work later. While chewing, the salivary glands in the mouth release a watery fluid called saliva. Saliva moistens the food and contains an enzyme called amylase, which begins breaking down starch, a type of carbohydrate, into simpler sugars like maltose. The tongue mixes the food and rolls it into a small ball called a bolus, ready for swallowing. When you swallow, the bolus passes through the pharynx, throat, and enters a long muscular tube called the esophagus. A small flap called the epiglottis closes the windpipe to prevent food from going into the lungs. 2. The esophagus, the food highway. The esophagus is about 25 centimeters long and connects the mouth to the stomach. It doesn't digest food but plays a vital transport role. The muscles of the esophagus contract in a wave-like motion called peristalsis, pushing the food downward. At the end of the esophagus, there's a ring-like muscle called the cardiac sphincter, which opens to let food enter the stomach and then closes to prevent acid from coming back up. This prevents heartburn or reflux. 3. The stomach, the mixing tank. When food reaches the stomach, the real transformation begins. The stomach is a muscular, J-shaped organ that stores food temporarily and mixes it with digestive juices. The inner lining of the stomach releases gastric juice, which contains 3 main components. Hydrochloric acid, HCl, creates an acidic environment, pH 1.5 to 3.5, that kills bacteria and helps enzymes work. Pepsin enzyme starts breaking down proteins into smaller peptides. Mucus protects the stomach walls from being digested by its own acid. The muscles of the stomach wall churn and mix the food with these juices, turning it into a semi-liquid substance called chyme. Depending on the type of food eaten, it may stay in the stomach for 2 to 6 hours. When ready, the pyloric sphincter at the bottom of the stomach opens, allowing small portions of chyme to pass into the small intestine. For the small intestine, the real digestion center. The small intestine is the longest part of the alimentary canal, about 6 meters 20 feet long. It's divided into 3 parts: the duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. A. Duodenum. Most chemical digestion occurs here. As the chyme enters the duodenum, it mixes with digestive juices from 2 important organs. The liver through the gallbladder releases bile, a greenish fluid that breaks down large fat droplets into smaller ones. This process is called emulsification, making it easier for enzymes to act on fats. The pancreas releases pancreatic juice, which contains several enzymes. Amylase continues breaking down carbohydrates. The posse breaks down fats into fatty acids and glycerol. Trypsin breaks proteins into smaller peptides. B. Jejunum and ileum. Here, digestion finishes and absorption begins. The walls of the small intestine are covered with tiny finger-like projections called villi and even smaller microvilli. These increase the surface area for absorption through these villi. Simple sugars like glucose and amino acids pass into the blood capillaries. Fatty acids and glycerol pass into lacteals, small lymph vessels that carry them to the bloodstream. The absorbed nutrients are transported throughout the body to supply energy, build cells, and repair tissues. 5. The large intestine, the water recycler. Whatever remains after digestion enters the large intestine, or colon, which is about 1.5 meters long. Here, most digestion has already been completed. The main job of the large intestine is to absorb water and salts from the remaining material. Friendly bacteria in the colon also help by breaking down some undigested food and producing vitamins such as vitamin K and certain B vitamins. The leftover waste becomes more solid and forms feces. The large intestine ends in the rectum, where feces are temporarily stored. When the rectum is full, nerves signal the brain, creating the urge to go to the toilet. 6. The anus, the final exit. Finally, the journey ends at the anus, the opening at the end of the digestive tract. The anal sphincter's muscular rings control the release of feces from the body. This process, called defecation, completes digestion. Summary of the journey. Let's summarize the journey of food. 1. Mouth, chewing, saliva, and amylase start digestion of carbohydrates. 2. Pharynx and esophagus, swallowing, and peristalsis move food to the stomach. 3. Stomach, acid and pepsin break down proteins. 4. Small intestine, enzymes from pancreas and bile from liver complete digestion, nutrients absorbed through villi. 5. Large intestine, water and minerals absorbed, bacteria produce vitamins. 6. Rectum and anus, feces stored and then released. Why the process matters. This entire journey from the first bite to the final exit can take between 24 and 48 hours. Every step is perfectly designed to make sure your body gets the nutrients it needs. Without digestion, the food we eat would be useless. Our cells would starve and energy would run out. That's why eating balanced meals and drinking enough water are so important, because your digestive system depends on them to function smoothly. Fun fact: did you know that your digestive system contains millions of bacteria called the gut microbiota? They live mainly in your large intestine and help digest certain fibers, protect against harmful germs, and support your immune system. Without them, digestion would not be as efficient. The alimentary canal is truly one of the body's most fascinating systems. It begins with a bite and ends with waste removal, performing mechanical, chemical, and biological miracles every day. From the mouth to the anus, each part works in harmony like instruments in an orchestra, turning ordinary food into the energy of life.